There comes a moment in your life when the unseen world makes a move in your favor, not because you begged for it, not because you earned it through sweat or struggle, but because your inner world finally aligned with what has always been your birthright. That moment is now. The universe has chosen you not by chance, not by luck, but by resonance. You match the frequency of something extraordinary, and in that match, a shift has begun. This isn't just a financial change, it's a dimensional leap. The $500 million shift is symbolic of something far greater than numbers in a bank. It is the reflection of your expanded consciousness, your decision to no longer think in limitations. It is the echo of your silent, sacred yes. The moment you dared to believe in more, to assume your abundance before the world showed any sign of it, that is when the shift began. You may not see the full picture yet, but make no mistake, everything is moving. Resources are relocating. People are being positioned. Circumstances are rearranging. All in your favor, not because you asked loudly, but because you believed quietly. This is not a reward, it is a reflection, a mirror of your inner acceptance. You finally stopped asking if you were worthy and began walking as though you already were. And that changed everything. The universe doesn't respond to need. It responds to identity. When you became the version of yourself who has, the world had no choice but to agree. What once seemed impossible is now inevitable, not because the world changed, but because you did. Your assumptions became laws. Your inner state became the architect of your outer world. And now the shift has been released. This is your time to receive, not by striving, but by standing. Standing in the knowing. Standing in the stillness of faith. Watch how the opportunities come. Watch how the people arrive. Watch how the pieces fall into place, not through control, but through alignment. This is the reward of deep inner work, of persistent belief in the unseen, of choosing imagination over evidence. You are not just stepping into wealth, you are stepping into a new timeline, a reality that already existed, waiting for you to claim it. You didn't force the door open. You became the key. And now, everything that once resisted you will begin to flow toward you, not in chaos, but in divine order. So now be still. Let it happen. Stop trying. Stop chasing. Stop questioning. Just receive. Just expect. Just walk as if it's already done. Because it is. The shift has been released. The current is flowing. And your only task now is to float in the direction of your destiny. The universe has spoken. And it said, you are not waiting for abundance, it is waiting for you to recognize your authority over it. The shift doesn't begin when you seek proof. It begins when you feel certainty. When your inner voice whispers, it's already mine, the universe listens. This isn't about earning, it's about embodying. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you believe you are. And you've reached the place where your belief has surpassed doubt. You're no longer curious, you're convinced. That kind of energy moves mountains. That kind of identity draws wealth. This $500 million shift is not just financial, it's foundational. It affirms who you become in silence. The universe has confirmed your elevation. Now it's aligning all the pieces to reflect your inner knowing. Stay still and receive what's already yours. Everything you've endured, every delay, every rejection was never punishment, it was positioning. The universe wasn't holding anything back from you. It was building you up to match the size of the blessing. There are levels of wealth and influence that require a different version of you. You've become that version. And now what once felt distant is rushing in. The $500 million shift isn't just a reward, it's recognition. The universe recognizes readiness, not desperation. You've released the old story of lack, and now the new story is writing itself. This is divine timing unfolding in your favor. All those quiet moments of faith are now speaking loudly. And what they're saying is, you are chosen. chosen to lead, to receive, to overflow. Walk forward knowing everything is being restored and multiplied. Your inner vision has become stronger than the world's distractions. You've trained your mind to focus on outcomes, not obstacles. That focus is power. That focus is wealth. What you repeatedly imagined has taken root in the unseen, and now it's rising to meet you. You didn't need to convince anyone, you convinced yourself. And that was enough. This shift is responding to the world you've already lived in your mind. You saw it clearly. You felt it deeply. And now you will walk in it fully. That's how manifestation works. It doesn't begin with the world, it begins with you. The details you imagined are becoming real. The feeling you mastered is becoming fact. Stay loyal to the vision that brought you this far. It's now unfolding in real time. You don't have to chase what is already yours. There's no race when you've already crossed the finish line in your imagination. The $500 million shift is not about earning more. It's about remembering who you are. You remembered your power. You remembered your source. And now the world must adjust to that remembrance. The moment you stopped hustling and started believing, the shift activated. Not 1 ounce of your worth comes from the effort you give, it comes from the effort you carry. And you've chosen certainty. That choice calls in miracles. That choice releases overflow. Your job now is to remain still in knowing. Let the evidence catch up to your expectation. Don't shrink back. Don't explain yourself. Receive in peace what has always been aligned to your nine. You are not here to convince others of your calling. You are here to walk in it boldly and let your results speak. The shift that's being released is not random. It's a mirror of the inner work you've done. The world will say you got lucky, but luck had nothing to do with it. You showed up when no one was watching. You believed when there was no proof. You stayed consistent in the unseen. And now the reward is being publicly delivered. That's not coincidence, that's cause and effect. You became the cause, and this wealth is the effect. It's not just money. It's momentum. It's divine confirmation. You are not just attracting abundance, you are the environment where abundance naturally lives. Let the shift continue without resistance. You've earned this through identity, not effort. Money doesn't follow need, it follows energy. And your energy has shifted to match overflow. That's why doors are opening. That's why people are responding. That's why opportunities are appearing like clockwork. You didn't ask harder, you believed deeper. You didn't work more, you aligned higher. The $500 million shift was never outside you. It was in your atmosphere the whole time, waiting for you to meet it in thought and vibration. You no longer carry the weight of lack. That was the old story. And the moment you released that weight, you rose. Wealth met you at your new level. Now you're walking in rooms already prepared for you. Stay grounded, stay grateful. Everything is unfolding without effort because now you match the abundance you once only imagined. This kind of blessing isn't for the one who waits, it's for the one who knows. And you know. You don't need the world to validate what you've already seen in your inner eye. The vision has lived inside you longer than anyone realizes, and now it's ready to be born. This $500 million shift is the birthing of a destiny you've nurtured in silence. Every thought was a seed. Every assumption was water. And now the fruit is undeniable. You are being rewarded for what you believed before the world had proof. That's true faith. That's true creation. Don't question how it will unfold. Your only job is to receive and let others wonder how it all happened so fast. You'll know it was never sudden. It was always a seed waiting for this very season. Your environment will shift to match your new internal climate. The people, the conversations, the invitations, they'll all feel different. That's not coincidence. That's the result of your elevated identity. When you changed your self-concept, the universe had to obey. You stopped seeing yourself as the struggler. You started seeing yourself as the receiver. The moment that happened, alignment began. The money, the visibility, the favor, they're all responding to the new you. You don't need to manage it. You only need to sustain it. Stay rooted in who you become. Don't reach back for old patterns. Don't entertain familiar doubts. You've already outgrown them. And now everything you touch carries the evidence of this shift. Let the transformation be complete. You are becoming unrecognizable, and that is the goal. Stillness is not passivity, it is power. In stillness, you stop pushing and start allowing. You stop questioning and start expecting. The most profound manifestations happen in silence. You're not running anymore. You're receiving. You're not convincing anymore. You're commanding. This $500 million shift is unfolding not because of action, but because of awareness. You became still in knowing, and in that knowing, the universe rearranged everything. It's not about how much you do, it's about how deep you become. You become the version of yourself who no longer strives. You dwell in assurance, and assurance is magnetic. Let others rush. Let others worry. You are rooted in divine timing, and now that timing is producing a miracle in your name, you are no longer surprised by the blessings. You've normalized miracles, and because you've normalized them, they keep showing up. That's the secret expectancy without desperation. You're not shocked by overflow. You're anchored in it, and the universe loves to give more to those who carry that calm confidence. You don't flinch when the door opens, you walk through it with grace, because you already walked through it in your mind 1,000 times. This $500 million shift is familiar to you. You've rehearsed it emotionally. You've embraced it mentally. And now it arrives physically. You're not waiting, you're receiving. You're not wishing, you're witnessing. Stay in that calm certainty. That's the energy that keeps abundance coming. That's how chosen ones live, unshaken, unhurried, undeniable. The shift you're experiencing was never meant to be earned, it was meant to be remembered. You are recalling what your spirit always knew, but your mind forgot. Wealth is not being added to you, it's being revealed through you. This release of abundance is evidence that you return to your truth. No more chasing shadows. No more trying to fit into broken systems. You were always the source. You were always the gatekeeper of miracles. And now what was once hidden is flooding to the surface. The universe doesn't need time, it only needs your agreement. And you finally said yes without fear. Now the flow can begin. Let what's been blocked be broken open. Let what's been delayed come rushing in, because your remembrance has released the riches. Every desire you've held was never random, it was a preview, a glimpse of a reality already prepared. The $500 million shift you feel now is confirmation, not creation. You're not making it happen, you're letting it happen. The signs were always there. The feelings, the visions, the inner yes, they were all whispers from the future. And now the future is speaking louder. The timeline has caught up with your identity. This is not acceleration, it's alignment. You stepped into the version of you that doesn't beg, doesn't beg, doesn't shrink. You speak with authority now. You expect with clarity now. And because of that, the universe has no choice but to deliver. Let yourself be guided by that inner GPS. You're no longer arriving, you've already arrived. Wealth doesn't come from struggle, it comes from clarity. And your clarity is now crystal. You know what you deserve. You know who you are. You've emptied yourself of confusion, and now the flow is clean. This $500 million shift is not a fantasy, it's a reflection of your internal refinement. You no longer carry the heaviness of how. You now stand in the confidence of when. That is the difference. That is the doorway. You see, abundance is natural, not exceptional. You've stopped asking permission. You've started giving instruction. That's what wealth responds to: decisiveness. Let this clarity stay sharp. Let it cut through the noise. You are the signal, and wealth is tuned to your frequency now permanently. You are not being tested anymore, you are being trusted. This shift is proof that you've passed the unseen trials, the moments where no one clapped, the nights you chose faith over fear, the days you stood tall while everything seemed to collapse. Those moments built this moment. This abundance is not just money, it's divine trust. The universe trusts you with more because you've proven you won't shrink under the weight. You'll expand. You'll rise. You'll bless others. You'll create ripples. That's why the $500 million shift is flowing through you now. You are a vessel of increase. You are no longer in training, you are in transfer. Let the trust deepen. Let the flow continue. You've been chosen because you can carry this with power and grace. From this point forward, your identity is your currency. You walk into rooms and shift the temperature without speaking. Your energy introduces you before your voice does. That is wealth. That is authority. This $500 million shift is simply money catching up to who you've already become. You're not becoming rich, you are revealing richness. You stopped needing to prove, and you started choosing to be. That's where the transformation began. Every thought you now carry is rich. Every word you speak is rooted in overflow. You're not speaking from lack, you're speaking from fullness. And because of that, the world must reflect your new story. Let this identity stabilize. Let it lead every action. The shift is permanent. The change is final. You've stepped into your true self.